What am I gonna make? What sound am I gonna make?
Okay.
What am I gonna do this time? What are we gonna do? Let's see. What am I gonna do? Okay, here we go.
All right.
Now that was pretty cool, you know, getting to donate again. It felt so great to donate again after many months. Hey everybody, it's me, Jeff Acosta. How you guys all doing? Well, it's time for another video. There'll be some updates mentioned in this video, but there's a main subject, positivity. I felt it was time to finally do a video about positivity, especially because of like all that's going on in the world. And it really seems like because of this last year and this year, like, you know, with the pandemic, politics and social media and just so many other things, just like it's really been like draining like the positivity out of many people I've been seeing. In fact, like that's partly the reason why I want to make this video, is just to help people, you know, find positivity during trying times, even years later after this pandemic is over and everything, you know, just something to help people. Whether you have Asperger syndrome, autism, Down syndrome, any condition of any kind, or even if you're not on the spectrum or have any condition, you know, just anything to help you guys find positivity, like I do myself to find positivity. So I'll go down the list, also some video clips of some things I've done the last couple months, you know, like what I do for positivity, and we'll go from there. What made me decide to do this video finally is just because of all that's been going on this last year and this year with politics, the pandemic, and social media. I just thought it was finally time to do a video just to show like what I do to find positivity. And that does mean, like, you know, cutting out negativity finally. Like, you know, I've cut out people in my life who are toxic, who just don't see the world in a positive manner. It's basically those things. That's kind of like what I've gotten towards, and that's what I want to share with you. I admit finding positivity isn't always easy for me, and maybe it is because I have Asperger syndrome, maybe it's just because of some things I experienced in my life, or both. It's hard to truly say. So what I try to do is, I just try to get myself out there, you know, do things that make me feel good inside, you know, like I said recently, just surround myself with good people, and just do other things that can make me happy. So, and the crazy thing is, sometimes like whenever negative thoughts creep into my head, I start to be like, I mean, what I mean with the, it just, suddenly I start to say these weird things like, oh my gosh. So I tried so hard to control myself to not let those weird thoughts pop into my head anymore. And even like, and the funny thing is, I remember like when I was in 7th grade, like if anything negative popped into my head, like if I would have this weird feeling running through my mind, like as if I was on a long road to nowhere. So what I would try to do is I would I actually played my Phantasmic cassette tape from Disneyland quite a few times, you know, and I listened to it, and I just listened to the music of that soundtrack of that famous Disneyland show. And if any of you remember, I mean, I want to believe a lot of you remember Phantasmic, you know, the nighttime show at Disneyland where Mickey Mouse, like, you know, fights Maleficent the dragon and all those things. But that was one thing I did as a kid. But now as an adult, here are some other things I've done before. I mean, sorry, not before, but well, I guess you could say what I've done before, but what I continue to do, what I try to do, and what I'm trying to, the best I can to stay positive. Take a look at these videos. for me, like when I go to museums and just get out, like you saw in some of those video clips, it's just the best thing. Like heck, just even getting to see the history after such a long time of not being in a museum due to the pandemic, seeing the history of what Roseville has, what Rockland has, and then revisiting the Sierra College Natural History Museum, you know, it's just really wonderful just to see all those things. I mean, I don't know like if everybody else can see that, but it's just like when I go to like museums, historical sites, you know, they make me they really help a lot. So maybe like, you know, just get out there, go see things, do things, especially now. I know this all, I mean, pandemic or no pandemic, you know, just get out there, go see things. Because you never know, like when you might not have a chance to anymore. You know, I mean, and what I mean is like, you know, you might have a health issue that might restrain you from traveling or something. You just never know what could happen. So just get out there, see things, expand your mind, be happy, try something new. What my mother always said when I was young, try something new. It's hard for me to truly say like what positivity feels like, just because I have to try to find it in many ways, you know. But I guess one way to describe it is it feels kind of like almost as if like stress has been relieved from my mind, like a heavy weight has been lifted off my shoulders. And also, another thing I could say that kind of help, you know, what positivity feels like is if something really is built up inside, maybe sometimes you have to shed some tears. I know there were times I actually felt tension inside me, but then like once I watched something that made me start to tear up, I was like, it actually helped, surprisingly. Like even like a couple of nights ago, I don't know what got me into it, but I just decided to watch the video that I made from like when I lost Buster the previous year to cancer. And if you remember from my previous videos, Buster was my cat before I got Jax. And when I near the end of the video, when I was watching myself like holding him and listening to some sad music, you know, just before we had to sadly put him to rest, that made me tear up, and it actually helped. It felt like just so much heaviness was lifted out of me. So I know that sounds a little strange, but I guess in some ways crying can really help as well. Maybe you just need to find something, like maybe watch something that can maybe like, you know, just bring out the tears in you, especially if you can be a little bit emotional and be a bit emotional inside. I know I'm a very emotional person. I mean, heck, I feel like sometimes I have so many faces, especially with me doing all the voices that I do, like my pop, like, hey, what do you do? Get me spinach, cause I'm yellow. Whoa! And then all those things. It just, and I mean, I'm not a master of disguise or anything like that, but it's just I like to say sometimes I have those many faces just because of all those voices I could do to make people laugh and be happy. In fact, one of the best things is when I make people happy with my voices, as you just heard me doing with Popeye. I love making people happy with my jokes and my puns and everything. In fact, one of my coworkers at the hospital, actually, I don't remember what it is I did, but he said that I did some things that gave him a good laugh, which he really needed because he was just stressed out throughout the day. And obviously because, you know, things can get stressful at a hospital. But hey, what I did for him actually gave him a good laugh. And the funny thing is, I actually had a bit of a laugh afterwards, like because when he was talking about it, how like he was right. It actually was funny. I mean, I didn't make a fool of myself or anything like that. It's just I just over exaggerated on a few things. So making people feel good inside is definitely one positivity that feels so good inside. So, you know, just be yourself. If you make other people happy, I guarantee you it'll make you happy too. The reason I share that picture with you guys is because some friends I have in Australia through social media, they're a husband and wife basically, and I hope I get to meet them eventually when I get out to Australia someday. Last year they planted that for me because they planted it for a special reason, for a different reason at that time, I should say. But then as time went on, the crazy thing is, or the most amazing thing I should say, not crazy, the plant just continues to grow. It's amazing. I mean, it's really bloomed, and you know what? One of them says that they believe that because of how much it's grown, that it could be a sign of the new chapter in my life. And I bet you it was, especially because my friend shared that with me like about a few weeks after I moved into my current apartment. for my hospital job at Sutter. So you never know. Just looking at a plant, just looking at animals, like I got jacks, just anything, can be positive. You just need to find it. I've heard people saying that when they find positivity, they like to inhale deeply and then exhale, which is a great exercise. I've tried that before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But one thing that really helps, and I'm sure this goes for many people, is talking to people. I got my family I talk to. I have my few friends, my BFF, my best buddy, his family. I even got my neighbors now who I've gotten to know. And also, very recently, I went to confession back in the Catholic Church back in Sacramento. I don't usually bring religion into these videos because I know there are people out there who are anti-religious, which I respect. But I will say, going back to my church out there, and talking to the priest really helped. And what it is I had some tension that was built up inside, and I think a lot of it was due to to some of the people who treated me unfairly back in Sacramento. The politics and everything that's going on out there, the negativity of the pandemic and just so much, but as it turns out, it wasn't just that, but the father actually asked me some questions, and those questions actually helped resolve some of the tension as well that was built up inside. So thank you to the priest very much for helping with that, and I'll be going back to confession, maybe in the next couple months, from the time that this video is made. So just talking to people can help as well. Positivity can come by talking to people, especially people you're connected with. People who can help you, whether it's like confession, maybe even with therapy, or if you have a teacher or a professor that you're still in touch with from school, they can help as well. Just like I have my junior college counselor who worked with special ed students, I'm still in touch with her, so she's a help as well. Just talking to people can really help a lot. Exercise can also be another form of positivity, because when you're just putting yourself on the exercise machines, it can just de-stress you and everything. Like currently right now, I haven't really used the gymnasium that much in my apartment complex. Sorry, not condo. Just because my job at the hospital is so physical. But just getting out there and exercising can also help. Can get the negativity out of you, because you never know. Because sometimes maybe if you want to go for a jog, you could be like, ooh, when I'm running, it's like, ooh, I'll get him. Just anything. Just sometimes it's just even like if you're lifting your weights, like I still do on my days off. You could be like, I'll take care of you. This one's for you. I don't know if anybody's get what I'm just trying to get at, but basically you could just figure out the ways to make something that could be stressful into something like fun. Like even like when I ride my bike, because I live in Roseville, and it's very hilly here. It can get very physical sometimes, but just going out on bike rides is wonderful. Like even one of my recent days off, like when I went around and I just saw some of the old buildings, like when I found the old Fry's Electronics building, and even checked out the sculpture park, so that helped. Sure, it was hot, but just getting some exercise is a good feeling. And there are also some other things as well that can help with positivity. Like with me recently, like when I was just getting out and just seeing things, just maybe ordering some takeout or something. And if I see something while I'm waiting for the food, then that helps as well. Like you'll see what I mean in these upcoming clips. I haven't been in one of those in years, but it was pretty cool, you know, just quickly seeing pictures or getting pictures with those animatronics while I was waiting for my food was really awesome. So thank you to the staff at that restaurant for letting me do that. And of course, get a load of this crazy positivity that happened recently a couple months ago. Don't worry, nobody was hurt, not even the snake. And the reason I say positivity is because even though it was kind of creepy at first, you know, it was just amazing because I just, you know, you don't really see snakes that often, you know, in the wild. Well, I mean, maybe that all depends on like where you live, but I just don't really see that many wild snakes. So that was pretty amazing. And but don't worry, the snake was taken by animal care or animal control, and it was released back into the wild. We found out the following day. So, like I was mentioning about animals, you know, and I do love animals. Another thing I like to do that helps with feeling good inside and just getting so much positivity is like if I listen to some music. And with me, I like to listen to musical theater. As many of you remember in some of my videos, my favorite musical is Cats, so I definitely love the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber. I like the oldies, like the Beatles, the Beach Boys. Let's see, what else? I also like to listen to some classical music like Minute and G and all those things. And even very recently, relating to confession, I discovered the song Dominique by the Singing Nun from the 60s. And then I found out that she also did a disco version in the 80s before she sadly lost her life. And then also, as it turns out, in 1966, they also made I think it's a semi-biography of her, and it was starring Debbie Reynolds, and the way that they wrote the English version was amazing. So just listening to some specific songs can really help. Just like listening to that song Dominique really feels good. Even though I can't speak French, I believe it is French in the song. You know, just hearing like Dominique do 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 da 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 da. It just I just love the rhythm of that. And even hearing the Debbie Reynolds version, it just feels good. So, you know, if something you're listening to or just watching something can put a smile on your face, then I bet you found some positivity right there. Oh, silly me. There was something else I forgot to mention. Even though that part of my life is done, if you watch some of my other videos, you could see like some of the positivity I did was like when I went to Disneyland a lot, when I travel, and I cannot wait to take a vacation soon, and hopefully it will be soon. And also going to Broadway shows, you know, touring shows I should say, local plays. And of course, you know, a chance to get close to animals at zoos and aquariums, because that's one of the best ways to get to know animals is to do interaction programs. So I hope pretty soon I get to do another program at another zoo or aquarium or just any place where I could just get close to animals again. Hopefully that'll be soon. Oh, and something else that can help with positivity, I guess you could say, is it's kind of like a form of therapy. Is like when I come home from work, my apartment has a pool and jacuzzi just right outside it. So once I get home, you know, quickly strip myself down to my scrubs, quickly eat dinner, and of course feed Jax. I just jump into the jacuzzi right after work. I think it's just because I don't know. I mean, I know this might all depend on like where you live or what you might have. But what I say is like maybe if you can just relax in some nice hot water for a while, because especially because like in a jacuzzi, you know, when the bubbles are running, you know, just the feeling of the bubbles just like, you know, running on my back feels good. Just being in the warm water, and if I have the jacuzzi all to myself, sometimes I like to like, I guess you could say, I forgot what it's called. Oh, floating. Like, I guess you could almost say I do kind of like a form of floating, like where I could just like, just lay back, just be sure I keep my head up, and then sometimes just do this with my fingers. And the reason is so the way people don't think I'm like, like passed out or anything. Because I remember one time at my old complex I lived in years ago, like some neighbors thought I had fainted or something. I was like, oops, I don't want to do that again. So yeah, if you have access to a jacuzzi, just go to it. Relax in the hot water, or if you do have a bathtub, just relax in some hot water once in a while, because it can de-stress you. And I know there might be some of you who have apartments that don't have a bathtub or a pool and jacuzzi or anything like that. So what I can suggest is, if you were able to, maybe like get a big bucket and just fill it with some hot water, or comfortably warm hot water, I should say, and just dip your feet in there. Just dip your feet into it, because if this is true, the stress that's in your head, in your mind, like our headache or anything, the blood cells, I believe that's what it is, will travel down into your feet, because your feet have been exposed to like the hotness of the water, the heat of the water. So just so try that if you can. It really helps. Also, I thought to add some more positivity, let's see if I can get Jax to do something funny. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, even though I had that little clip, those few clips of him, let's see if we can get a full video of him. Let's see. Oh, here he comes. Yeah. So this is definitely another form of positivity. If you have like any pets or anything, just play with them. That can also get the stress out of you. Yeah, come here, Jax. Let's see if I can get him to play. If not, it's okay. He's being stubborn, but oh well, it's okay. Jax. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Yeah. And as I mentioned in another video, when I adopted him last year after I lost Buster, that really brought back all the happiness inside me. I'll still never forget Buster to this day. But like when I adopted Jax last year, it just felt so good inside. I know I keep saying it feels so good inside, but that's something I want people to know, is like, like when you feel good inside, just say it. It feels good. I mean, don't brag about it, but just just if you feel good, just show it. And of course, if you're good to other people, they'll be good to you too. Oh, look at that. And another positive I have coming up to end this video is I'm off to the Gold Country County Fair with my neighbors in Auburn. Can't wait to see what this will be like, and I can't wait to share it with you. Well, there you have it. It was a wonderful time. Although I didn't go on any rides, just seeing the kids having fun brought so much positivity inside of me. I had a wonderful time with them. I had a wonderful time with my neighbors. It was just wonderful to have another opportunity to be at a fair. I had so much fun, and it was so exciting to see my camel friends again. So there you have it. There are so many ways you can find positivity. So I'd say just do what you can. Look for your positivity wherever you can, because you never know. It might be just somewhere like within your I guess you could say your eyesight or distance. I guess that's the best way to describe it. But hey, you know what? Just as long as you're getting out there and then just being happy, with what you're doing, I think that's the best positivity you can find. Well, I hope you like this video, everyone. And it'll be great, like when I think of another video on specific subject to think about. You never know. Let's see what I come up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. So take care and be sure to subscribe. Take care.